where 17 opposition parties in India are all set to approach the country's poll authority, demanding that ballot papers be used in the upcoming parliament elections that are due in the year 2019. And leading the opposition's charge is Trinamool Congress chief and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Now, the opposition claims that the electronic voting machines can be easily tampered with, and even those with verifiable paper audit trails are unacceptable. Now, the opposition's demand is the restoration of the old system of ballot papers. However, recent incidents from India's tryst with ballot papers have neither been free nor fair. In fact, it's actually ironical that in the month of May this year, the Panchayat or the village council elections in West Bengal witnessed large-scale tampering of ballot papers. Several ballot boxes were set on fire, ballot papers were seen floating in the water, and a man was even caught on camera stamping the ballot papers on the day of counting. Now, India had in fact moved to polling via EVMs in the election of 1998. The 2004 Lok Sabha elections witnessed the use of electronic machines on a national scale for the first time, and since then, the country has seen two Congress-led governments and one BJP-led government. However, it was only since the last Lok Sabha polls that the EVMs have drawn strong criticism from the opposition camp in India. But it's also important to point out that the BJP at the time, when it was in the opposition, after the 2009 electoral results, had come out very vocally stating that EVMs could be tampered and therefore had to be done away with. Now, the country's poll commission has maintained, however, that EVMs are robust, secure and tamper-free. In the past, the Election Commission has also said that there is absolutely no way that an EVM machine of the Government of India can be tampered with. And switching back to ballot boxes is almost non-feasible for a country with the world's largest voting population. Now, the counting process will not only be extremely prolonged, but also leave scope for corruption, as it will be entirely manual. The further reintroduction of the ballot papers will also mean making necessary amendments to the country's representation of the People's Act. Now, the electronic voting machine and the voter-verified paper audit trail system is not peculiar to India alone. A whole host of other nations use the technology in their elections. Now, the electronic voting machine has been a choice of several of the world's democracies, and 4 countries use the EVMs nationwide, namely India, Brazil, Bhutan and Venezuela. The EVMs are also used in parts of several other countries such as Belgium, France, United States, Canada, Mexico, Peru, Argentina and Japan as well. And then there are those countries who are piloting the technology, and these include Russia, Mongolia, Nepal, Bangladesh, Indonesia and Ecuador. The EVMs were temporarily introduced in the Netherlands and Germany as well. However, they went back to ballot papers. The ballot papers are also being used in polling in many of the countries around the world. Amongst them is Pakistan. The United Kingdom, for its part, is sticking to ballot papers. France and the United States in their national elections, and Germany and the Netherlands, who initially had tried to experiment with EVMs, have gone back to paper ballots. However, the recent election in Pakistan did not quite paint a bright picture for the use of ballot papers. Stamped papers were in fact found disposed at garbage dumps, city streets and school campuses. This is something that can happen in the case of ballot paper voting. Now, several analysts have criticized the election and have even called it to be highly rigged in Pakistan. Now, for countries such as France and Britain, voting through ballot papers and the subsequent counting of the votes does not end up being a lengthy process simply because of their smaller population.